What's going on, folks? Rick here, back with another video, and I'm here to make a quick update for you guys and explain to you guys exactly um, why I decided to um, move away from the LG V10 that I just purchased, and I made an unboxing video for you guys, and I decided to go to the dark side. Something I never thought I would do is to go back to Samsung. But let me give you guys a few reasons why I decided to return this device, and this is going to be one of the last videos I'm going to make with this actual device. So if you have any questions and anything you guys want to see or know about it, please let me know as soon as possible so I could put it out there and on the web for you guys. Okay, so let's get into the first thing. I've always been a person that's had big phones. I'm not afraid of big phones. I never had an issue with big phones. I've had numerous Note phones. I had the Moto X Pure. So I'm not a stranger to big phones. But I realized something once I purchased this device. And for a phone to be a phablet, I think the biggest size it could be is 5.7. And I'm going to explain to you why. I don't know, maybe the metal rails on this phone have something to do with it. There's a lot of heft to it, and some people like that, and that's fine. If that's your bag, that's fine. But the screen itself is 5.7 inches, and then once you add the second display over here, it's 5.9. So you got 5.9 inches of real estate, and then you have this forehead over here. So typically these cameras would be right here on the forehead, and it's not. So, me having, meaty hands and substantial hands, big enough hands that I could, reach all the way to the top, the phone always felt very top heavy because you would hold the phone like this. You would hold it like from a lower standpoint here. That's naturally where your finger goes towards the bottom to hit the on-screen buttons over here as well. And be right down here, as opposed to holding it, halfway up the phone so you could reach all these additional items. I'm not saying that this phone is not a good phone, but for me, it felt very huge. It just felt ginormous in my hands, not from a width wise, but from a length wise. It felt top heavy, and it just didn't feel comfortable. And you know what I mean? I guess that's the main thing with the phone. You gotta be comfortable with it. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta like it. And it just felt huge to me, and it felt very uncomfortable holding it and using it. What else was there? What else was there? There was it was the some of the things that LG does, like, they're very similar to Samsung. You know what I mean? Their UIs are very similar. In a lot of cases, I just think LG just kind of rips off from Samsung, and Samsung might do the same thing to LG. But for the most part, Samsung will come out with features, and then on LG's next flagship or next phone, they'll have similar or the same features. But me, I'm huge into multitasking, okay? And I mentioned this in my last video, and I'm going to mention it again. I like the ability to go on YouTube and go on Facebook at the same exact time, and I could be listening or watching a video on top and scrolling through my Facebook or my emails, whatever the case may be. But when you go into LG's UI over here, you just have these apps over here that you could use, and I'm sorry, it's like, it has no social media apps on there. There's really nothing on there that I find super useful, you know what I mean, to be multi-screening, you know what I mean, and the ability, well, at least the non-ability to customize this to add social media apps to this. Could this be fixed with an update? Sure, but it was the same way with the G4. It was the same way with the G3, and now I see it's the same way with the V10, and it just boggles my mind why LG would make a feature such as multitasking and not allow you to customize it. Another thing, and it's, you know what it is, it's not major things, a lot of small things and a little pet peeves that are starting to annoy me, and I just had the phone for 2 or 3 days. Take for instance today, I have the dual screen function on at all times. So part of having the dual screen function on at all times, I noticed today I received the phone call. So once I received that phone call, it illuminated on the top screen, even when I was using the phone. So I would even be in the phone, and as opposed to just illuminating here, it would illuminate in this little screen over here. And I was actually trying to swipe an app away, and I wound up hanging up a phone call that I was on, and it was an important phone call. And I found it to be a little bit annoying that the phone would only show ringing, or the phone number, or whatever the case may be, or the answer or hang up option would be on the secondary dual window and not on the actual phone itself. Something else I noticed when I was on Facebook, and I noticed that if I was listening to music and I liked something, and you hear that little, Facebook like sound, it made my music stop to allow that sound to come through. And I was just like, that's just stupid. Like, why would you stop my music so I could hear the little, thumbs up click or whatever it's called? And I found that to be really annoying. And one of the final things that was really like the straw that broke the camel's back for me is I'm really big into listening to music through the speaker, or the speakerphone, or the loudspeaker, whatever you want to call it. And with all that LG bragged about, how great the speaker is and all the functionality of the video camera and everything like that, the speaker was really low. Now, through the headphone, it was a completely different experience. So listening to headphones is one thing, but I like to use the speakerphone. I use it a lot, and I found it to be really low. And that was really shocking for a flagship device. So, all in all, like I said, I was never a fan of Samsung. Well, let me correct that. When Samsung came out with the Note 5, I refused to buy it. I found it to be an extra large Galaxy S6 with an S Pen. No creativity, no innovation, nothing. They just threw 4 gigs of RAM in there with an S Pen, and boom, there you go. There was your Note 5. And one of the reasons why I really went to the V10 was the removable back, the removable battery, the expandable memory, and an amazing camera. These cameras for the most part are neck and neck. I'll give it to the LG in regards to all the manual modes and things of that nature that you could do, but for the most part, Samsung has a pro mode on there as well. It may not be as complete as the LG's, but it gets the job done. And for the most part, most people are just going to use the auto mode, and that's what I found myself using for the most part. And battery life on the V10, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It wasn't really doing anything for me in the department of saying, wow, this is really going to last me throughout the day. It was comparable to something like the Note 5, and the quick charging, it's there, but I don't really think LG puts a huge emphasis on quick charging. Like, they let you know that it's there, it's compatible, quick charging, fast charging. But I noticed it doesn't charge as quick as the Galaxy line, or at least the Galaxy Note 5 would charge. So, like I said, for me, it was a lot of little things, but it was those little things that I use on a daily basis. One, obviously was the speaker. The height to it just made the phone feel uncomfortable in my hand, and little annoying things like I said, like my sound going out when I get a notification, or when I click a little thumbs up on Facebook. It was like little annoying, stupid things like that made me decide to not hold on to this phone and actually return it with my buyer's remorse. So, and the final thing that really made me go over the top was this fingerprint scanner. I know someone left a comment in there, and it's something I didn't try. So, to be 100% honest, the fingerprint scanner is not 100% accurate. You have to hold your finger kind of crooked a certain way. At least I saw that I did. Once I held my finger straight like this, it really wasn't unlocking it. You see, like now, it does it, but it may do it after 2 or 3 tries. Someone in the comment section told me that, to register the same finger 3 different times, because you could register up to 4 or 5 different fingerprints, to register the same finger 4 or 5 times, but when you do it, hold your finger at different angles so you never have the issue that I'm referring to. But I don't know. I think it should just work. You know what I mean? You put your finger on there and it should just work. It shouldn't have to put that much work into making the fingerprint scanner work. Where on the S6 or the Galaxy line, you just put it on there and it works 97, 98% of the time. So, I really hate Samsung for what they did with the lack of innovation. I swore up and down I wouldn't get this phone, but realistically, it's the best phone in the market right now. I'm hearing rumors of the S7 coming out, or at least being announced in late January. And I had to ditch the expandable memory, which was a big deal for me, for a phone that just functioned better. It worked better. The application of TouchWiz just works better than LG's UI. And like I said, it was a lot of little things and things that I love to do, multitasking, the speakerphone, and little things like shutting off my music when I thumbs up an item on Facebook. It was just getting to me. And in addition, and mostly, it's just the girth of the height of this phone and its forehead. It feels like I'm holding it on the bottom and I would drop the phone because it was so top heavy. It was like, the weight of it was making me feel like, I would have to hold the phone forward after a while. It just wasn't comfortable in the hand. And the build quality, yeah, it's very durable, but is it as nice as something like this? I really don't think so. I hate the fingerprints and all that, but that's something that a skin could take care of. But this feels just that much more premium. If that's not your bag and you really want the durability, but to have the durability like this and not have, it being water resistant or anything like that, kind of killed it for me. So if you have any questions, any comments, just leave it in the comment section below. I'll try to answer all your questions before I send this bad boy back. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.